Workers extract every drop of milk from the cows by tying them to steel pipe chairs every day, and these cows must be naturally fed in the Alps. The reason for this elaborate process is to make cheese and child sauce. A thin slice of Swiss cheese, as thin as a cicada's wing, costs an ordinary person a week's wages. The collected milk is left to stand for 12 hours to allow workers to remove the fat from the surface. Next, the milk is poured into large iron pots and the workers add yeast to it. Under the action of the yeast, the milk slowly coagulates into something like tender tofu. The next step is for the workers to use tools to chop the coagulated milk. This is a very labor-intensive process that requires workers to manually cut the milk repeatedly until it becomes tiny granules. At this point, workers also use separators to remove as much moisture as possible from these granules. Only then will the milk granules easily bind and clump together. Afterward, workers use coarse cotton cloth to scoop the milk granules from the iron pots. Each scooped amount is carefully weighed, and only those that meet the standards are placed into round molds. The milk placed in the molds is then put into a press, which squeezes out the remaining moisture from the milk. The pressed cheese is then trimmed by workers to increase its hardness, and the trimmed cheese is soaked in brine for 24 hours. Finally, the finished cheese is uniformly placed in a ripening chamber for aging and curing, a process that takes at least 6 months. I'm Dan Ding, and see you next time. Please provide the Portuguese translation for this passage.